Hello everyone, it's Birdie here, the Recycled Hippie Chick. Welcome to Junk Journaling for Beginners. And I have no idea what episode this is, but you will see it in the title, so welcome. This will be our last episode in this series. I just am giving you enough to get you going, and then you can search all the other bajillion videos out there on different things you want to spread out and do. This is just absolutely the basics, and then, the sky is the limit. I did have a request. My friend Jan watches these videos. Hi, Jan. Hi, Sherry. Jan said she got her a 3-sided ruler like this, and that I tore my side up. I told you that in the first video, but I didn't show you how. So I told Jan I would show you how I roughed it up. Now, I just went over to my tool drawer and found this file. It happens to be round. The one I used on here was actually triangle. It had 3 different sides of roughness on it, which the point on the corner made it really nice, but you could do it, I think, with any file. I just took my file and I just started going like this, just making indentions on my, oh, this one's working out very nicely. So yeah, if you have a round one will work great. I just used what I had, and it's out in the barn, and I'm too lazy to walk out there and get it right now. I have it out there with my chainsaw right now. I sharpen my own blades on my chainsaw, so that's the file I was using. I also use it on my clippers when I was doing personal gardening to sharpen my clippers. So that's how you do it. You just take it and just rough it up. Just rough that thing up. And then when you go to tear your paper, it makes a nice, let's get a piece of paper here. It makes a nice torn edge. Isn't that fun? There you go. Easy breezy. If you've already got, you don't have to have a triangle one, although it is handy. For what reason, Jan? I don't remember why it was handy. Oh, she said she wanted a triangle one because when you're using your, and I don't know where mine is, let's pretend like this is an X-Acto knife. When you're using your X-Acto knife, it gives you a good, place to hold it while you're running your X-Acto knife down, cutting something, and not getting your fingers in the way, which was a brilliant idea. So I actually have, and of course it's not right here where I can find it, so you can see how often I do what's safe, but I actually have a metal ruler that I use when I'm using my X-Acto knife, because so many times I cut into my ruler and leave notches in it because I get too close over to my plastic. So I use a metal one to use my X-Acto knife with. So there we go. That's that. Today, I want to show you, we have learned, let's get our little book out over here. We've learned how to do pockets. Of course, this is a flour bag or a sugar bag. I don't remember which. Flour bag. So it kind of had the flap that I just folded over and made into a pocket. We have made pockets. We have made tags. We have put a ruffle on out of pattern paper. Today, I want to put another ruffle on that I just sewed up on the sewing machine. And I have a roll of this strip of material. I don't know what it is. You know what? I want to show it to you so you can picture what I'm talking about. And of course, my jam is estate sale cleanouts. I get stuff free. This was a roll of just strip material. It's very thick, almost canvasy. But this roll used to be huge. This I have probably had for 5+ years, and I don't think I in my lifetime will ever use this. I have 3 rolls, not of the same material, but of other materials. And I use them also to sew my scraps of paper on to make snippet rolls out of. So that is what I used because I was too lazy. I know, I'll admit it, I have just been lazy lately. I just did not want to cut material or rip it. This was there, so I said, well, I want to ruffle. Now, this, I noticed this not intentionally, but this journal is kind of, it's odd for me. It's very brightly colored and it's juvenile. It's kind of, you know, kiddish, which is it is my grunge, but it's a different color for me, actually. And I decided I want to carry that clear on through. The bright colors, almost a juvenile type journal. And I thought this was very nicely juvenile to add into our pages. So I could have sewn this on a page, but I did not think of that. I just went over to the machine and sewed it. I'm looking to see if I have a page that's already painty that I can add it to the edge of, which I think is going to be that one. I didn't paint up very many pages, did I? I think I'm going to do it on this coffee dyed one. I am just going to glue it right there, although that's not what I want to do either. And this is why. See how if I glue it on here, it's not coming out to the edge, which is no big deal. It doesn't have to, because this is your journal and you can do what you want. But when I shut my journal, see, this one here doesn't either. When I shut my journal, I kind of want to see it sticking out a little bit. Some people wouldn't like that because when they put a tie on it, it kind of pulls their ruffle over. So when you are doing your own junk journal, you will find what makes you happy. And the only thing I can do, and it does not match this page, so I'm going to put it on the back side and put it on this page because I kind of want to see it from the outside. So I'm just going to glue it on. You could sew it on if you wish. You don't have to. I'm just gluing it on because we want to get on with our getting on today. Okay, I'm going to let that dry before I trim the bottom off because I'll rip it, I'll tear it off, and it'll just be a mess. So I'm going to put this aside. First, I'm going to put some color on the front so it can be drying while we're doing what we're going to do today. I want to do some purple. I want purple, yellow, and green, I think, on the outside of my cover for right now. And I'll show you why here in a minute. Oh, I'm about to make a mess. Here's my brush. I took it in to wash it and didn't know what I did with it. There we go. Okay, so I just want some purple. And I've got it dripping everywhere, so we're going to put some on the back too. Oh man, we're going to have to hurry because I want to show you how to do a dingle dangle too before we end up. Okay, so there is our purple. Don't forget to put some on your painty paper. And I wanted some, let me dry this real quick. Okay, I wanted purple, orange, and green. So I want a bright green. So let's go with this one. And the reason I am saying all this is because I want to put this picture on the front. I'm going to cut it out. And I just thought we would use the purple. You can't see it. It looks kind of yellow to you, it looks like. But this is actually green grass. And he's got a little orange in his hobo. You know what? Oh, this just makes me so happy. This is exactly how I used to dress every Halloween. Every Halloween I was a hobo because it did not require buying a costume. I could make it out of stuff I had at the house. And you know what? I never even thought to ask my mom, would you buy me a costume? I just had fun making my own costume every year. And I was a hobo. Yeah. Oh, that brings back memories. That was a happy little accident that I picked that picture. So anyway, I want to cut that out and put it on the front. So I wanted a few colors just to kind of bring in with the colors that are in that. I know some of you are going, whoa, Birdie, since when have you ever matched colors? Very rarely, but I just thought, you know, it would look cute if I drew a few colors in. Try to be like the big girls. So I'm trying to draw my colors from my picture. See what I'm learning after this many years of doing this? I'm starting to learn stuff. Now, there is that. I am going to just see what happens if I just brayer this around and maybe it'll look a little grungy. And green and orange. Man, I don't know if I even have any orange. Let's see what we got here. I think this is a glaze. Bisque stain. So this is actually for ceramics, isn't it? Shake well, apply one or more coats, let it dry between coats. It doesn't say, but we're going to use it because we have it and we need to use it up. So let's just see how bisque stain turns out. Okay. There we go. Now, I want to go back. Do I have my fan brush? I think the littles have taken my fan brush out to the camper. That's okay. This is beginners, and you don't have to have a fan brush to make splatters. I just like it. So we are going to make splatters out of something else. I just want to make some splatters on here, so I'm just going to take my big brush. I've dipped it in water, and I'm just going to make my paint real watery, and I'm going to splatter some purple on here over the top of everything. Okay. Now I'm going to dry that. Okay. Now we're going to set this aside. Well, let's see here. Yeah, we're going to set this aside for a minute. And I'm just going to kind of tell you what we're going to do today while I fussy cut this out. This is the last item that I think would be very important for any beginner. It's not important, but I think it would help any beginner do just about everything in your journal. See this tiny little picture on the back? That would be so cute in my tiny little journal that I made, the one I made in my God video. So that'll be so cute in there, won't it? I'll make a little tag and a pocket with it. Okay. When you're making your own journals, this next thing that I'm going to show you, you could use on you could use it on pockets, you could use it on tags. What do we call this, you guys? I lose my words so easily, my description of my thoughts. What do you call this? This application that we're going to learn today. Is that right? Tell me if that's right when we're all done. You could use it on your cover. You could use it on your pages. Like if you go through and just paint backgrounds all through your junk journal, and then later you could take this application in and just slap it down on any page you think it would look good on, and bam, you have an instant page done. And this application is called Clusters. You can make big clusters, little clusters, tiny clusters, cloth clusters, paper clusters, mixed clusters, every kind of cluster you can imagine. And so we are going to do clusters today. We are going to do a cluster for our cover. We are going to do a cluster for just a page. See, I'm losing those words again. A focal point on a page. And we'll see how much time we have, because there was something else I wanted to do, remember? And I don't remember what it was. Oh, a dingle dangle. And we'll see how much time we have to make something else with a cluster. Maybe I have these pockets that we made last one of these other times. Did we make these together? Anyway, you can put a cluster on here and bam, your pocket's done. So maybe we can get one done for one of those too. This is one of my issues. I have an issue with taking pretty things like this card and cutting them up and tearing them apart. So if you're new to junk journaling, let me tell you, just get over it right off, because I am still not over it. I still struggle with it. But you know what? These papers that we find are either going to be thrown away, so you might as well take them and cut them up and use the pictures out of them, because you know what? I'm going to have this pretty picture that I'm tearing up today. I'm going to save this little birdie to go in my birdie journal. And tomorrow I will not be able to describe what this card looked like to you for nothing. So it's not like I'm missing out on a memory of this card, because I'm not going to remember it. We might put that on a cluster. Who knows? Anyway, just go ahead and tear them up and enjoy them and use them, and don't let it bother you, because it still bothers me. Now, normally, I'm going to go ahead and ink this, because I don't like white. If you like white and it does not bother your neurodivergency, then go ahead and leave the white. It just bothers me to no end, so I always have to ink stuff up. I guess I just have grunge in my blood. I don't know what the deal is with myself. I may also go around this with my Stabilo, because I think I'm going to go around my page with Stabilo. Can you see that I grunged that up a little bit? Softened up the white. Okay, now, let's see here. Let's start a cluster. This is going to be on my cover. So, I am going to pull my junk journal over, and I am going to start building my cluster on the junk journal. Normally you don't have to. If you're just going to have a pile of clusters, don't pay attention to your junk journal. Just make your clusters and then later add one that fits. But I'm wanting to make one specifically for this cover, so I'm going to use this as, you know, a jumping off point. I don't like straight edges. Another one of my neurodivergencies. This is a word I just learned in the past year. So I'm definitely wearing it out this year. My husband thinks I'm a hypochondriac. Every little thing that comes along, I diagnose myself with it. I said the other day, because I'd gone to the Y and did chair yoga, and it really made me sore. And I said, man, my back. He goes, what's the matter? What's the matter? Is it your Lyme? He's always teasing me. I said, no. He said, is it your psoriatic arthritis? I said, no. because I saw one of those, what do you call them, advertisement for like a medication or something. So he saw that and said, do you have psoriatic arthritis now? And I said, no. And he said, oh, wait, is it your insulin resistance? I said, no, I'm sore from going to the Y. Oh my gosh, sometimes I just want to smack him. Okay, so this is bothering me because this piece of paper blends in well with that, doesn't it? But I'm going to go ahead and use it because when we're done, I'm just going to go around the outside of it with my white paint pen to maybe set it apart a little bit. I'm just going to build my cluster. See, you don't see a whole lot of it anyway, do you? What else do I have? Is that all I have? So now all I have to do is just fit it on here. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking a bunch of pieces of paper, and I could use some cloth also. Do we have anything, I have this little box up here that I'm telling myself I have to use everything in it. It's a little tray that I throw scraps in, and I thought I got to use it before I go get more cloth. Here's a piece right here. Right here. Let's see what this, may not even need to use this paper, but it does add another layer, doesn't it? Might put that under there. You know what? Here's this piece of paper. Okay, let's rethink this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this one down because I'm happy with it there. There's a piece of paper, it's not paper, it's cloth laying here that I had gone over with some gesso. Seeing a video that told what you could do gessoing your material, and so I gessoed this material while I was watching the video, and now I don't remember what they were doing in the video and what you could do with your gessoed paper. So I just have the gessoed paper. I think I want to take, this is a bowl that I had instant coffee in, and I just stick my wet paintbrush in there, and I just get it, rub it around, and it grunges up whatever I'm wanting to grunge up with coffee dye, a look of coffee staining. So I'm just going to go over this with some coffee so it's not quite so white. And we'll see where we can use it instead of that other paper that kind of blended in too much. Okay, let's see. I think I might take it like that. And glue it on there like that, and then maybe I could put this piece on there. And I thought this little birdie would look cute, and this little birdie could just be over here on the ground. But I feel like there should be another piece of material like that one. That's cute, isn't it? Let's see here. I thought maybe I had another little piece of something over here. Let's see what this would look like. Okay, I'm happy with that. So, that is a cluster. This is two, let's just get started. I'll tell you what my problems are as we go along. That white laying on this white is two whites, which bother me. May not bother you. You may love white on white. Some people will do their whole journal in just different shades of whites, creams. They don't put any color in it at all. So you may be able to do that. Okay, so I'm going to put that one down on there. And then I'm going to take this one and I am going to get a blue because he has blue in his hat. And I'm just going to put a little dribble down on there. And I'm going to get it kind of wet. And I'm just going to put some blue on here. I don't care if it covers it. Matter of fact, I'll just rub it around in my blue. There we go. And we'll put that on there. I want to let that bottom hang off. I think that'll be cute. Let's put this little hobo on there. Just like that. And then we will put this over here. So I think we're going to have to get this and the hobo on first. There we go. Let's get that on there. I don't know where exactly. I think that'll be fine right there. And then let's put this little birdie down. Very brittle paper that this little stamp is on. So I'm going to try to smush it around a little bit because I really want it out to the edge since this is so fragile. I'm afraid it'll bend up and break off just putting it back and forth on the shelf. That'll be fine. And then let's put this little piece of material on there just for another layer. Okay, I do want to print a retraction on my God video, if you were listening to that. I was talking in there about how I had gone for, when I go for interviews. Now, I want to retract this because it sounded like I just went for an interview for a job, and I did not. It's been like 10 years since I've worked at Williams-Sonoma, and probably a little less than that, but I said I would go and do an interview, and right off before we even started, I would tell them, and this was at any job in my past, any job. I mean, I even told them this at Raytheon. I never worked a Sunday in aircraft, and you know how that is, because usually they're all about you getting in the overtime and all that good jazz in aircraft, and I never worked a Sunday. So when I would go in and do an interview, I would tell them I go to church, and I go to church every Sunday, and I won't work Sundays. So if that is a problem for you, I always told them I would totally understand. I want to retract that and let you know that that was not recently, because I am not actually going to church right now. I feel like I go to church, but I don't go to a church building. I have my Bible time. I have time with God. I do things a little more special on Sunday. I do rest and just take it easy. It's not like I don't do that on a lot of days, right? But I will listen to different preaching on Sunday. I listen to worship music. I just try to really give my day to the Lord. And I talk to people, so I feel like I'm in a flock. There's people that also believe in God, and they don't have religion. They have a relationship with Jesus. I share with them. We encourage each other, and I don't actually go to a church. So I wanted to make sure that I did not lead you astray on that, make you think, because I just haven't. I came out of the Pentecostal movement, and that was not right for me. I was very convicted about being there. I felt like there was some false teaching going on, and I had to get out after 30 years. So just have kind of been gun shy, kind of been scared. We gave our entire lives to that church. My husband was Royal Ranger leader. I was Sunday school leader. We worked with the youth group. We did the funeral dinners. I did the arts and crafts shows there that we had on Andover Days. He did Royal Rangers. We just did everything, and I'm kind of burnt out. It got to where we were very rarely in service, and they let us do it. We do nursery, and I feel like churches should have a rule that if you're going to work in church, you should at least be able to spend one service a week in service. I think they should never let you go to the point we did and volunteer for so much that you're not sitting and getting taught. Anyway, so yeah, we're a little burnt out. I actually would love to find a church where I could just be a back pew goer for a while, and whether this is correct or not, or what I should be doing, to not be drug into volunteering again. And I just want to go and exist and slip out. I know it's probably not right, but that's kind of what I would like to do for a while. Okay, our front cluster is done. Also, I do not want to lead you astray. I'm also very leery about telling you what I've learned from the Lord, because you know, my mouth doesn't explain it always the way it should, and I never ever want to lead anybody astray. So if I ever come on here and say, oh, look, I just learned something I want to share with you, and you see that I have not said it correctly according to the word, then please, please correct me so that I can go in the Bible and find that and make sure my heart is different, okay? Because I don't ever want to say anything that's not correct with the Lord. I'm just going over the outside with these Stabilo Marxall pencil and making it just a little grungy along the edges. And I'm going to go ahead. I thought maybe I might go around this too, but I don't think I'm going to. I think it looks fine. What would happen if I did? Yeah, I'll go ahead and go around it. It's just for me. It's not like I'm selling it or anything. So when you are doing a junk journal and it's just for you, you do it to make yourself happy. This is for you. You know, I was selling my journals on Etsy, and I got so caught up on trying to make something that somebody else would like that I almost lost my own, what would Amy like? What would Birdie like? It was hard for me when I quit selling my journals to go back and find what I liked, because I was trying to do things for other people. So just do what you like and don't worry about anybody else. This has been therapy for me. It's definitely been therapy. I don't want to go around the rest of it because I may not be done putting color on the rest of it. Okay, there's cluster number 1. It's been 34 minutes. This may be a little bit of a long video. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Let's see here. I had some of these in my Bits and Bob's box that I never ever use, so I thought I am going to make a cluster out of this. I'm just going to do it. I'm not good with these straight lines and colors and scrapbook paper. I just am not good with all that. So I'm going to grunge it up a bit to try to get rid of those hard lines of being a square. And maybe that will help me a little bit. There we go. I found this cute little magazine image of a jar that says canned beef. I'm going to turn her sideways because I'm going to put her in here like a frame and then doll her up around that. So let's go ahead and do that. Don't overanalyze what you're doing. So many times I've overanalyzed and tried to overthink things. Not worth it. Just play, put it together, because you know what? You're going to go through and look at it later and go, oh my gosh, that's so cute. Did I do that? Don't overthink it. Even when it's not thought about at all, it turns out looking cute. Listen. This is not going in an art show. Well, if it is, maybe you ought to think about it a little more. But this is not going in some art show where people are going to be looking at whether you've done some technique or right or something, you know? I call myself not an artist. I call myself a player because I like to play. And, yeah, just have fun. Good grief. Life's too short. This is a time to relax. Get rid of your stresses in your life and just play, not think about anything. I like this side, so I'm going to put glue on. I don't know where it's going though. I might want to cover up that canned beef because we don't know it's canned right now. Let's go ahead and put this one on there. Over here at the side. And then let's go ahead and stick this one. Because see, we're clustering. The idea is layers, layers, layers. I'm going to put a piece of this under it. That's what a cluster is. A cluster is layers. Let's put this over there. And then let's put this on top of it. Okay. Now, if I wanted to, and I had to, oh, looky here. This is a cloth cluster. See, it's just a few pieces of material, and I sewed them together with just a few little stitches. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at that. Let's just stick that right there. Let's do it. The cow is all behind all this stuff, and she's peeking out at us. I was just about to say you could put little clusters of cloth or buttons. You could hand sew buttons on there or glue them on there. And then I saw this laying there. Oh, I love it when things like that come together. Love it. Look. Look at that. We made a cluster. So there's one. Let's set that over there to dry. Let's make one more, and then let's stick them in our book somewhere. Okay, let's see here. This was a piece of cardboard, you know, that chipboard. Something came in it. I don't know what. And I just thought the images on it were too cute, so I just roughly cut them out and thought I'll use those for something someday. Okay, I got a scrap of material here. I don't know what this is. It just came in a box of something and it got wet. Got that. Let's put this material on there. And I don't want it too straight. Let's hang it off so it can be clustery. And let's put this ticket on here. And then let's put the butterfly on. Is the butterfly going to hang off? I don't know how far I can put my glue. Okay. Let's just put that butterfly on there. Now, isn't that cute? What? What did you say? What if we have some glitter? Well, if you have some glitter, that would be awesome to sprinkle on there. Do I have glitter right here? No, I don't. Why would I not have glitter right here? Here's some. Well, I don't have any colored glitter right here. I don't know where I have put that, but let's put some of this on there. It kind of looks like sugar or salt. Let's put some of that, this matte medium on there because it's so runny. So I think that'll give it something to stick to. It'll be kind of like liquid glue. So let's just dribble some of that on. A lot of that on. Let's just take a little brush and kind of brush it around because I got way too much on there. And then let's get another piece of paper to set this on so when we sprinkle our glitter, okay. Won't that be cute when that dries? Oh, you guys, this is so exciting. Okay, now I'm just going to take my very huge piece of paper here. Oh, gee. There we go. Get that back in the jar. Now, let's go back through our book and see where we can put those two clusters. Well, first, before our time gets too crazy, no, let's just go. Let's go through our book, see if we can find a page to put our two clusters. Let's say we don't have a lot of time to play today, and we just want to make a page. I kind of like that page like that. I don't really want to mess with it. So look at that. Look at that. Don't those colors look good already together? And this is one that I just played with and made slappy, you know. I put a couple pieces of painty paper and just went with my my paint marker, and look, instant page. So we're going to use that cluster right there. See how it works out? Just works out. This just makes me so excited when it happens like this. Now, it's not very dry, but that's okay. Let's say you like to put a word on there or something. So let's just go, you know, when I am bless me. When I am, how do I want to say it? When I am in the restroom, I have a stack of magazines sitting on the sink, and I just go through and tear out papers and words that look like they would be good in my junk journals. See, the creative art of listening. I just rip it out, and I have a basket in there, and I just put them in the basket, and every few days I bring them out to the art room. And I have an entire folder in my file cabinet. These are the adventures to enjoy them. Now, maybe all you want is adventures or enjoy or art in progress. Look at this one. Let's use this one. So I just tear out all these words, and even if I just want to use one in her studio, and then I can use one word or the whole sentence if I want to. Oh, here, we got washi tape. But that's not basic, so let's not do that. Okay, let's put this on here. Art in progress. It's going to tear it down a little bit, make it a little bit smaller because I like the colors. And I'm going to ink around it. This used to be my B stamp at Raytheon when I worked aircraft. My B stamp was under there. Where's my... Oh, here, it's in there. See, I was B439. Whoops, you can't see it. Amy Emond, B439. This was my inspector's stamp. That when I went and inspected an airplane, I had to stamp everything off with this so that if something happened in that airplane, they could come back and say, huh, Amy inspected that. She should have caught that, you know, she should have caught that problem. So I just glued, you know, I haven't worked there for years, so I just glued a piece of felt on the end of it, and that's what I dip in my ink pad to use because, you know, sometimes you're just too cheap to go buy daubers, right? Don't have to go buy fancy daubers and ink to do this. You could use paint if you wanted to, or a crayon, or a marker, or whatever you have. You could use any of that to go around the edges of this stuff with. So we're going to do this. We're just going to say, art in progress. There's our page. I love it. Okay, there's that. Let's see where we can put this one. Will it fit on... This is awfully large. I'm just wondering, would it fit on one of our pockets? Of course it would. We don't care how big it is. Let's find a page. This page right here is just fine. I am not going to paint this page today. Well, yeah, maybe we should, because then I'll have to worry about painting under that pocket when we put it in. So let's paint that page. I call it yellow ochre. You could do some more papers on there. I call them underpants. You could glue some more papers on there if you want to kind of collage. I'm just wanting to get some paint on here so that my pocket is not, so I don't have to go under my pocket later. Let's see here. Let me dry that. Okay, now I'm going to put a little bit of this blue in there. One thing I don't like about getting tubes is if you have arthritis or anything, they're very hard to open. The paint kind of dries it shut. I don't know why. I just thought it needed some blue because there's some blue in our little cluster, and there's some blue on this edging, and I just wanted to add something else to it. Later on, maybe I'll find a picture that I want to add to it, and I'll come by and work on it again. Your pages are never done until you say they're done. Some days I'm just in the mood to do backgrounds. Some days I'm just in the mood to make pockets. or tags or, you know, fun stuff like that. Okay, that's all. That's all I want to do right now. May add some more color later. Let's go ahead. Well, are these the same size? Because I kind of like that pink one. Oh, this is even bigger. Which one would fit on it, look the best? This one? I think I'm going to use... We have this one. Or we have this one. I think I'll use this one. It's just bigger. Okay. Let's go ahead and glue it on first. I'm going to go to Big Mama Sandy Moore's next weekend. I'm really excited about that. April, Mama Juju, if you're watching, are you going? And Bonnie, are you going? I know Ava is not going this year. She just lives too far away. Is anybody else going that I remember from there? I'm excited. I'm going to make a pot of chicken noodles to take with me, and I've been eating carnivore, so I will probably just take my own eggs and pre-make me some bacon, and so I have my own food there. Heaven knows I would love to eat the chicken noodles, but I'm not going to. Taking my camper. This will be my camper's last hurrah. It will be her last hurrah, my itty bitty. I'm going to put her for sale out on the curb and see if somebody else maybe wants her. She's just been rode hard and put up wet. So I don't have any friends around here to go camping with, you know, just a girl trip. And Terry likes to camp with me, but he doesn't like to stay in the itty bitty, so we take the school bus. So I'm not a member of the Sisters on the Fly anymore, so there's really no sense in having her, which is going to be very sad, very sad. But my husband needs some teeth. I know, it sounds crazy. We went and saw a dentist yesterday, just a dentist, and asked him, is there any, because he adjusted my aunt's teeth years ago and was very good at it. And he used to be our dentist back in the 80s, but then insurance, we had to go, you know, how insurance happens. You have to go where you're on their list. Pocket cluster, isn't this fun? So my husband, he had a bad experience with his dentures. Listen, if somebody says affordable dentures on their sign, it's probably a red flag not to go there. Okay? He has had them for a year now, and I am still grinding his food like an old man in a nursing home. So let me get some beef. Okay. My friend KK, she said I should take him. I should take that dentist to court and make him give us our money back. But this is the thing. We have to, we talked to the dentist yesterday. We didn't want to tell him we want to take that dentist to court, because you say that to another dentist that you're a new patient of, and they're going to be scared to death that if they ever do anything wrong to you, you're going to take them to court. I think it makes them gun shy. You know, it would me. And he took one look at those dentures and knew that my husband had manipulated them. My husband got so tired of them not listening to him and doing what he needed to help him with his dentures, that he finally just quit and went and got his Dremel tool and started adjusting them himself. Because they used to be so high up in the front of your upper lip, it used to hit the top and make him have canker sores all the time. And they wouldn't shave him down from his upper, I don't know what you call it, the crack of your, right in where your front teeth are, where your gum meets your upper lip. He needed for him to come down. They were too high. And when he bit down, they made canker sores on his mouth. So he just went out and got his Dremel and shaved it down a little bit so that he wouldn't have canker sores anymore. And it worked. And it would go back so far in the back of his roof of his mouth, it would make him gag. So every once in a while, he'd be sitting there watching TV, and all of a sudden he'd go, ugh, ugh, like that. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, my teeth make me gag. So he needed that shortened, but they would not do it at the place where we got his dentures. So he gave up, stopped taking off work and going in there, asking for help, and he just started adjusting them with his Dremel tool. Do not try this at home, okay? Because this dentist that we went to see knew right away that he had manipulated him and said, Terry, you cannot do that, because he said you have to let them do it, because you don't know what you're doing and they know how much or where they can take it off so that you don't lose suction. They said, you have nothing left here for suction. You are going to have to get a new pair of dentures. Well, you're going to, if we go into a court of law, they're going to say, well, you've manipulated them, so you're on your own. They're not going to understand that he manipulated them because the dentist wouldn't help him to begin with. We never could see the dentist. After the dentist pulled his teeth, we never saw the dentist again. Terry kept saying, my upper gum really hurts. I think there's a bone or a tooth or something up there. I'd like to see the dentist. And they would say, we're sorry. He's in surgery right now. They would never, ever. He never came over and said, so, how do you like your new dentures? Is everything working out? No, never. We never saw the dentist again. I'm going to write him a letter, and I'm going to tell him everything I think. This dentist that we saw yesterday, just a regular dentist, told us more about dentures than they ever even attempted to tell us at Affordable Dentures. Don't ever go there. I think they're nationwide, but they're just absolutely terrible. There were other people there that I was in the waiting room with while my husband was back in the back, and they were saying they were having terrible time with them too. It was just, nobody was happy there. One lady said this was her 5th time of coming back, and she lived 4 hours away. So she had to keep coming back, getting them adjusted from a 4-hour driving trip. So, yeah, we are going to have to, this big long story to tell you why. Why was I telling you this story? Because I'm selling stuff to make money. What did I say I was going to have to sell? I'm selling my potato chip truck, which was going to go to get me a decent vehicle for my end of life. I'm 62. I need to start having a decent vehicle to go on through our life with before we go on Social Security and can't afford one. Well, I'm going to go ahead and sell my potato chip truck so that Terry can get some new dentures, because insurance doesn't buy new dentures. He's screwed up these and they won't suction cup in his mouth anymore. And he said, I hate to tell you, but going to a normal denture place, you're going to pay about $6,000. So Affordable Dentures was only $3,000, and that was with getting his teeth pulled also, only $3,000. It might have have been $1 million to us. Anyway, I don't like this string. I accidentally had a spool of waxed thread and I absolutely loved it. And now that it's out, I'm using any kind of string I have, and I'm having a hard time getting it through my beads. So anyway, yeah, I think I'm going to have a sale on my journals because I've been making a bunch of journals that I'm not even interested in just because I'm enjoying making them. I want to make my own themed journals. And, oh, you guys. And I think I'm going to have a sale with all these journals that I've made, put some scrap packs together and all that, see if I can sell one big batch for his tooth fund. Sell the potato chip truck, sell some journals maybe, and buy that boy some teeth, because he cannot bite down on a sandwich. He can't eat anything but hamburger, and it has to be ground beef or boiled. If it's a patty, it has to be boiled in water. He can't eat chicken or roast or anything like that. Can't bite into a tortilla. I've been making him lunch meat in tortilla egg white shells for lunches. And I have to slice them up, slice the little wrap up real thin so he can just kind of waller it around in his mouth. And he's eating protein bars, and I have to cut them into slices. Yeah, this is how my husband is eating. Although, he's lost 35 pounds. So, score on that, right? Here I've been carnivore for almost 10 months now and have not lost an ounce. Not an ounce. So I think it has something to do with my thyroid numbers, keeping my metabolism down or something. I don't know. I should have been, they said after day 5, I should have been in ketosis, and I have yet to reach ketosis. So I don't know what's going on. None of these videos that you watch talk anything about that. Oh, they tell you you ought to be carnivore and all the stuff it helps you with, but they don't tell you what happens when you're having struggles. Oh, you guys, I'm having struggles with these darn beads. That's what I'm having. I just want to show you a dingle dangles, all I'm wanting to do. So these are just miscellaneous beads that I buy or at the estate sale cleanouts. Take all the old jewelry and tear them apart and put the beads in my I have a huge jar over there of them. Then I take these things, like this was on a necklace. So I tear that stuff apart and keep it. And I use that at the very end of my dingle dangle just for, you know, a little something something. And voila, I have this cute little dingle dangle that I'm about to show you. My fingers are so, I am just, can't even hardly hold this stuff. First of all, my fingers are so full of glue, I can't even feel with them anymore. I could never be a jewelry maker because this is just frustration for me. Okay. Definitely going to order some waxed thread. Here is our journal. Cute little dingle dangle. Since it's kind of juvenile, I found this little teddy bear necklace. I used the end of it with our cute little beads on our flower bag. How cute is that? Got our front page with our little tag. Ride, Ed, ride. We've got our little cicada tag inside of our little pocket that we cut out of a pop-up book. We have our little turtle tag in our pocket. We have our little cluster. Our pocket over here, which we don't have a tag for. Let me run and get a tag real quick out of my stash. Okay, this is just a cereal box. I put a piece of paper on the back to write on. Has a little piece of scrap material stapled to it. I just glued pieces of book page all over it, smeared some paint on it, put a sticker on it, and voila. Instant tag. I just make those, and it's too tall for this book, but it doesn't bother me. I just make some days, I just want to make all tags, so I just sit and make tags. And then you have them ready. My glue is not quite dry enough, so I'm not going to put that in just yet. This is ready to put something on or do something with. We have all these blank pages in here. Our old coffee filter in here. Paper bag, envelope, instant pocket. Look at that. Envelope. Here's another one that I just folded up. It can be a pocket. The end of a bag can be a pocket. And the end of our sack, our flour sack, can be a pocket. So there you go. You guys, thanks for joining my little beginner junk journal series. And I hope to see you on my next one. Who knows what we'll be doing. Bye-bye from Birdie. I thought the sun was pretty. I don't know if you can see it hitting the Bradford pear tree. It's in full bloom right now. I thought it was pretty, so I thought I would share it. Just a little short video update on Helen. She's feeling feisty this morning, so I thought I would videotape her. Come here, Helen. Come here. Hey. Come here. Helen. Come here. I want to show everybody. I want to show everybody how you're doing. Come here. Come here. Come over here so I can show everybody. I want to take advantage of every day that she lets me near her because she's only 8 months old, and all of my squirrels eventually turned wild. So every day I appreciate that she wants to be kind. Not that they're mean, they just don't come to me anymore. So I just thought every once in a while I'll do a little update on her while she's still halfway tame, because you never know what day it'll all be over. It's kind of hard to show you. She's right here on me. She still likes to wrestle. I'm nervous about her chewing on me, because at what point does that become full-fledged chewing?